just can't stop thinking about the what ifs. What if we would have listened to that doctor years ago when I was pregnant with her? I can't even imagine. Aaliyah is funny, she's feisty, she's loud, and she's very outspoken. We call her our alpha child. She's definitely going to be someone's judge or somebody's politician one day. I can just feel it. I can feel it every time she speaks. She's going to change the world. My world was almost changed forever when her dad and I left a military ball early one night towards the beginning of my pregnancy. This was my second pregnancy. During the first pregnancy, I miscarried. And it was a horrible miscarriage. We found out and we were just so happy. We went on a cruise, but I started spotting and I just didn't think much of it at the time. My doctor said a lot of people spotted and it wasn't heavy, but it was still kind of steady. I went at 9 or 10 weeks to get checked and there was no heartbeat and there was no movement. And it was very devastating. So emotionally, I was drained. We had to tell both sides of our family. They were happy, but it was still just a big blow. I had tried to tell my doctor, and she didn't take it seriously that I had miscarried. So this time around, I was being extra cautious, and I was thinking I was being very diligent. And as I was saying, we were out at an event, and I started spotting, and it scared me. So Marcus and I, my husband, we left the military ball, and we headed straight to the emergency room. So when they called us back, I put on my gown, and I got prepared for the doctor to check everything out. But when she came in, she didn't even check me. She didn't check my cervix. She didn't do anything. She said, "How many weeks are you?" I responded, 7 to 8 weeks. She said, "Well, you're definitely having a miscarriage." My husband said, "Well, can you at least check her? Can you listen for a heartbeat? Can you do anything?" She said, "Oh yeah, we'll order those tests, but I'm pretty sure she's having a miscarriage." So by this time I'm freaking out at this point. I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen again. I'm really freaking out. I was so sad, but I found a glimmer of hope in my interaction with the sonogram tech. The sonogram tech, she says, "I'm not supposed to tell you this, but the heartbeat looks really good." So I go upstairs and the doctor goes over the same results. And the sonogram tech had just seen, and she's nonchalantly like, "Yeah, the heart rate does look good, but it's still bleeding. I'm gonna say you're still gonna have this miscarriage. Yep, with this bleeding, you're most likely gonna have a miscarriage. In the morning, I'm gonna put it in your records that you need to talk to your doctor and go ahead and have a DNC and get that signed." So if you don't know, a DNC is also known as a dilation and cutterage, a surgical procedure that is performed after your first trimester of a miscarriage. We were familiar with this because we had one with my first miscarriage. My husband was furious. "Are you serious? A DNC with a heartbeat?" She looked him flatly in the face and said, "You need to get this scheduled as soon as possible." She got up, she left the room, we never saw her again. The ultrasound tech gave me that look like, "Don't do that." So we saw my actual doctor on that Monday. She said, "This baby has a heartbeat. None of your hormone levels have dropped. They have actually increased. You just need to take it easy and prioritize your rest." I was on pins and needles this entire pregnancy. That experience with that doctor really shook me, and I just wasn't able to experience a joyful pregnancy. I was afraid, when I went into labor, you know, you have all these expectations what your labor is gonna be like. You create this birth plan, but nothing goes as planned. There were a lot of complications along the way with my pregnancy. I developed severe preeclampsia that nearly killed me because the doctors refused to acknowledge it. They just kept saying drink water while I was blowing up like a pincushion. I felt like I was the exorcist. I couldn't feel my arms, I couldn't feel my legs. I remember hearing the doctor and the nurse arguing about my care while I was in labor. There was so much more. The whole thing was just a complete nightmare. I'm not sure if my experience was so bad because I was at a military hospital, or because I'm in a small town, or because I'm a Black woman. Or maybe it was just all three. I just know that my daughter, having her was worth all the pain I had to go through. And everything it took me just to get her here. But I do wonder if other women who don't look like me have to go through all of these obstacles and if all this pain just to bring a life into this world.